Introduction: Why Money is a Game. Please help us subscribe. Let's grow. We want to one day stand somewhere and mention your name, that you have played a significant role in our journey. Now stop everything you're doing. Let's clear the book, chapter by chapter. From the moment we are born, we enter a world that runs on money. It influences where we live, the food we eat, the education we receive, and the opportunities available to us. Yet, despite how important money is, most people are never truly taught how it works. We are taught how to read, write, and solve equations in school, but rarely are we given a clear understanding of how the financial world operates. Because of this, many people grow up treating money like a mystery. They work hard, earn income, spend it, and hope it will somehow be enough. When financial problems arise, they often feel confused or powerless. But the truth is much simpler. Money behaves like a game. Just like any game, money has rules, players, strategies, and outcomes. Some people learn these rules early, practice their strategies, and become skilled players. Others never realize there is a game being played at all. They continue moving through life without understanding why some people consistently win while others constantly struggle. Think about popular games like chess, football, or even video games. When someone first begins playing, they may lose frequently. They make mistakes, misunderstand the rules, and struggle to compete against experienced players. But as they learn the rules and practice better strategies, their performance improves. Eventually, they begin to win more often. Money works the same way. Winning the money game does not always require extraordinary intelligence or luck. Instead, it requires understanding how the system works and making decisions that align with those rules. Those who understand the game know how to position themselves, take advantage of opportunities, and avoid common traps. Unfortunately, many people believe that wealth is reserved only for the lucky, the privileged, or the extremely talented. They assume that financial success is out of their control. But history shows countless examples of individuals who started with very little and built significant wealth simply because they learned how to play the game better. The financial world has its own playing field. This field includes banks, businesses, governments, markets, and consumers. Each of these players has their own role, their own strategies, and their own objectives. Some are trying to grow wealth, others are trying to borrow money, and some are simply trying to survive financially. Understanding these players and how they interact is the first step to understanding the game itself. Another key part of the game is recognizing that money moves according to predictable patterns. It tends to flow toward value, innovation, and efficiency. People who create solutions to problems often find themselves rewarded financially. Those who learn how to invest, save strategically, and manage risk give themselves a powerful advantage. However, the money game is not only about numbers, it is also about psychology. Fear, greed, impatience, and discipline all play major roles in financial outcomes. Many people lose not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack the mindset needed to stay consistent and make wise decisions over time. This book is designed to act as a guide to the money game. Instead of offering quick shortcuts or unrealistic promises, it focuses on helping you understand the system itself. Once you understand the system, you gain the ability to navigate it more effectively. You will learn about the structure of the financial world, the key players who influence it, and the rules that govern how money moves. You will explore strategies that can help you build a solid financial foundation and grow your resources over time. You will also discover common mistakes that cause many people to lose the game before they even realize they are playing. Most importantly, this book will encourage you to see money differently. Instead of viewing it as something mysterious or intimidating, you will begin to see it as a system that can be learned, understood, and mastered. Every game begins with a starting position. Some players begin with advantages, while others start with obstacles. But regardless of where you begin, learning the rules can dramatically improve your chances of success. You are already on the game board. The question is not whether you are playing the money game. The question is whether you are playing it intentionally. The chapters that follow will help you understand the board, recognize the players, learn the rules, and develop the strategies needed to move forward. With knowledge, discipline, and the right mindset, you can begin to shift from simply participating in the money game to playing it with purpose. The game has already started. Now it is time to learn how to play.
Chapter 1: Understanding the Game Board, the Financial System. Before anyone can win a game, they must first understand the board on which the game is played. In chess, the board contains 64 squares where every move takes place. In football, the game unfolds on a field with clearly defined boundaries and rules. Without understanding the structure of the playing field, even the most talented player would struggle to compete. The same principle applies to money. The financial world is the game board where all money-related activities happen. It is a vast and complex system made up of markets, institutions, businesses, governments, and individuals. Every financial decision, earning income, spending money, saving, investing, or borrowing, takes place within this system. Many people participate in the financial system every day without truly understanding how it works. They go to work, receive their salary, pay bills, and spend money on necessities and entertainment. While these actions keep the economy moving, they represent only a small part of the larger financial board. To play the money game effectively, you must understand the structure of the board itself. The flow of money. At its core, the financial system is built around the movement of money. Money flows continuously between individuals, businesses, banks, and governments. This movement creates the economic activity that powers societies around the world. For example, a company pays salaries to its employees. Those employees then spend their income on housing, food, transportation, and other services. Businesses receive that money and use it to pay their workers, expand operations, or invest in new products. Governments collect taxes from both individuals and companies to fund public services like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. This cycle of earning, spending, investing, and reinvesting creates a continuous flow of money throughout the economy. Understanding this flow helps you recognize where opportunities exist. Money often accumulates in places where value is created, problems are solved, or resources are managed efficiently. The major components of the financial system. The financial system is made up of several key components that work together to keep the economy functioning. Each of these components plays a specific role in the movement and management of money. Number 1, businesses. Businesses are one of the main engines of economic activity. They create products and services that people need or want. In return, they receive money from customers. Businesses generate employment opportunities, produce innovation, and contribute to economic growth. When businesses succeed, they often expand, hire more workers, and invest in new ideas.
In many ways, businesses are the factories where value is transformed into financial reward. Number 2, financial institutions. Banks and other financial institutions act as intermediaries in the money game. They hold deposits, provide loans, facilitate payments, and offer financial services that help individuals and businesses manage their money. For example, when someone deposits money into a bank, the bank may lend part of that money to a business that wants to expand. The business uses the loan to grow, generates revenue, and repays the bank with interest. The bank then shares a portion of that interest with depositors. Through this process, banks help move money from places where it is idle to places where it can be productive. Number 3, markets. Financial markets are platforms where assets are bought and sold. These assets can include stocks, bonds, commodities, currencies, and real estate. Markets allow investors to allocate capital toward businesses, projects, or opportunities they believe will grow in value over time. Prices in these markets constantly change based on supply, demand, expectations, and economic conditions. Markets can sometimes appear unpredictable, but over the long term, they tend to reward innovation, productivity, and economic progress. Number 4, governments. Governments play a significant role in shaping the financial system. They establish regulations, collect taxes, control monetary policy, and influence economic stability. Central banks, for example, can adjust interest rates or influence the money supply in an effort to control inflation and support economic growth. These decisions can affect everything from mortgage rates to business investment. Understanding how government policies influence the economy helps players anticipate changes on the financial board. Number 5, individuals. Individuals are both consumers and participants in the financial system. Every purchase, investment, or financial decision contributes to the movement of money. Some individuals remain primarily consumers, spending most of their income on goods and services. Others gradually become investors, business owners, or wealth builders who play a more strategic role in the financial system. Your position in the money game can change depending on how you choose to participate. The invisible forces of the game board. Beyond the visible institutions and markets, there are also powerful forces that shape the financial landscape. These forces influence how money behaves and how opportunities appear. Inflation gradually reduces the purchasing power of money over time. Interest rates influence borrowing and investment decisions. Supply and demand affect prices in markets. Technological innovation creates entirely new industries and opportunities. These forces constantly reshape the game board, creating both risks and opportunities for those who understand them. Why understanding the board matters. Many people approach money without understanding the larger system in which it operates. As a result, they may focus only on earning income while overlooking opportunities to grow wealth through investments, entrepreneurship, or strategic financial planning. When you begin to see the financial system as a game board, your perspective changes. Instead of reacting to financial events, you begin to anticipate them. Instead of simply working for money, you start positioning yourself where money is more likely to flow. Understanding the board allows you to move with greater awareness, make better decisions, and avoid unnecessary mistakes. In the next chapter, we will examine the key players who operate on this financial board. Each player, banks, investors, governments, businesses, and consumers, have different motivations and strategies. Recognizing their roles will help you better understand how the money game is played and how you can position yourself to succeed.
Chapter 2. Know the players. Banks, investors, consumers, governments. In every game, there are players. Each player has a role, a strategy, and an objective. Some players control resources, others influence the direction of the game, and some simply react to what is happening around them. The financial system works in a similar way. The money game is not played by one group alone. It involves a wide network of participants who interact with each other every day. These participants influence how money flows, how opportunities are created, and how wealth is distributed. To play the game wisely, you must understand who the players are and what motivates them. Banks, the gatekeepers of money. Banks are among the most powerful players in the financial system. Their primary role is to manage and move money within the economy. They accept deposits from individuals and businesses, safeguard those funds, and provide loans to people who need capital. At first glance, a bank may seem like a simple place to store money. However, banks do much more than that. They act as financial intermediaries by connecting people who have money with people who need money. For example, when you deposit money into a bank, the bank does not simply keep it locked away. Instead, a large portion of those deposits is loaned out to businesses, homeowners, and entrepreneurs. The bank earns interest on those loans, which becomes one of its main sources of profit. Banks also influence the economy through lending practices. When banks are confident about economic conditions, they tend to lend more money. When they become cautious, lending slows down. This can affect business growth, employment, and investment across the entire financial system. Understanding the role of banks helps you see how money moves from savers to borrowers and how credit fuels economic activity. Investors, the strategic players. Investors are individuals or institutions that allocate money into assets with the expectation of generating a return. Unlike consumers who spend money primarily on goods and services, investors use their money as a tool to grow more money. Investors participate in various markets, including stocks, bonds, real estate, businesses, and other investment vehicles. By providing capital to companies and projects, they help fund innovation, expansion, and economic development. In return, investors hope to receive rewards in the form of dividends, interest, or increases in asset value. Investors play a critical role in the financial system because they help direct money toward opportunities that have the potential to create value. When investors believe a business idea is promising, they may provide the capital needed to turn that idea into reality. Successful investors often focus on long-term growth rather than short-term gains. They study trends, evaluate risks, and make strategic decisions based on information and patience. Learning to think like an investor is one of the most powerful steps a person can take in the money game. Consumers, the drivers of demand. Consumers are perhaps the most numerous players in the financial system. Every day, millions of people around the world purchase goods and services that meet their needs and desires. From groceries to clothing to technology and transportation, consumer spending drives a significant portion of economic activity. Businesses rely heavily on consumers to generate revenue and sustain operations. Because of this, consumer behavior has a powerful influence on the economy. When consumers are confident and willing to spend money, businesses grow and hire more workers. When consumers reduce spending, businesses may slow production or cut costs. While consumers play an important role in keeping the economy active, remaining only a consumer in the money game often limits financial growth. Those who learn to shift from pure consumption toward investing and wealth creation gain a strategic advantage. Understanding this distinction helps individuals make more intentional financial decisions. Governments, the rule makers. Governments are responsible for establishing the legal and regulatory framework that shapes the financial system. Through policies, laws, and economic programs, governments influence how money is created, distributed, and controlled. One of the primary ways governments participate in the financial system is through taxation. Taxes provide funding for public services such as infrastructure, healthcare, education, and national defense. Governments also influence economic stability through monetary and fiscal policies. Central banks, which are often closely linked to government institutions, may adjust interest rates or control the supply of money in circulation. These actions can impact borrowing costs, inflation, and investment activity. Understanding the influence of government policies helps players anticipate shifts in the financial environment. The interaction between players. What makes the financial system dynamic is the constant interaction between these different players. Banks lend money to businesses and individuals, investors provide capital to companies and markets, consumers purchase goods and services from businesses, governments regulate activities and influence economic conditions. Each action taken by one player creates ripple effects that influence others. For instance, when consumers increase spending, businesses may expand operations. To support that expansion, businesses may borrow money from banks or seek investment from investors. Governments may then adjust policies to manage growth or inflation. This web of interactions keeps the financial system moving and evolving. Your role in the game. Most people begin their journey in the financial system as consumers and employees. They earn income from work and use that income to support their daily lives. However, the most successful players gradually expand their roles. They learn how to invest, start businesses, or participate in financial markets. By doing so, they move beyond simply earning money and begin influencing how money works for them. The key is not to avoid being a consumer. Consumption is a natural part of life, but to ensure that consumption is balanced with wealth-building activities. As you continue learning about the money game, you will begin to recognize how these players influence the opportunities around you. In the next chapter, we will explore the rules that govern this game. Just like any structured game, the financial system operates according to certain principles. Understanding these rules is essential if you want to make smart moves and improve your chances of winning.
Chapter 3. The Rules of the Game. How Money Works. Every game operates according to a set of rules. These rules determine what players can do, what strategies work, and what actions lead to victory or defeat. In sports, breaking the rules can lead to penalties. In board games, ignoring the rules makes it impossible to play properly. The money game is no different. Although the financial system may appear complex, it is governed by a few fundamental principles. These principles determine how money flows, how wealth is created, and why some strategies succeed while others fail. Many people struggle financially not because they are incapable, but because they are unaware of the rules that govern money. Once you understand these rules, your perspective begins to change. Instead of guessing or hoping for financial success, you start making decisions that align with how money actually works. Rule 1. Money flows toward value. One of the most important rules in the financial world is that money tends to flow toward value. People and businesses earn money by providing something that others find useful, desirable, or necessary. A farmer grows food that feeds communities. A doctor provides medical care that improves lives. A software developer creates tools that make businesses more efficient. In each case, value is being created, and money flows toward that value. This rule explains why certain professions, businesses, and innovations generate significant income.
When a person or organization solves a meaningful problem for many people, the financial rewards can grow substantially. Understanding this rule encourages players to focus on developing skills, products, or services that genuinely help others. Rule 2. Time multiplies money. Time is one of the most powerful forces in the money game. When money is invested wisely, it has the ability to grow through a process known as compounding. Compounding occurs when earnings generate additional earnings over time. For example, if an investment earns interest, that interest may also begin earning interest in future periods. As time passes, the growth can accelerate. This is why many successful investors emphasize the importance of starting early. Even small investments can grow into significant amounts if they are allowed to compound over many years. Conversely, delaying investment can reduce the potential benefits of compounding. Time is a resource that cannot be replaced, making it one of the most valuable assets a player possesses in the money game. Rule 3. Assets and liabilities matter. A key distinction in the financial world is the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that has the potential to generate income or increase in value over time. Examples include businesses, rental properties, investments, and intellectual property. A liability, on the other hand, is something that requires ongoing expenses or reduces financial resources. Examples may include certain types of debt, depreciating possessions, or costly financial obligations. Many people unintentionally accumulate liabilities while neglecting assets. They purchase items that require maintenance, payments, or replacement, but do not contribute to wealth growth. Successful players focus on gradually increasing their assets while managing liabilities carefully. Over time, assets can begin generating income that supports financial independence. Rule 4. Risk and reward are connected. Another important rule is that potential rewards are usually linked to risk. Investments or opportunities that promise higher returns often involve greater uncertainty. For example, starting a new business can produce significant financial rewards, but it also carries the risk of failure. Investing in stocks may provide long-term growth, but market prices can fluctuate. Understanding risk allows players to make informed decisions rather than emotional ones. The goal is not to avoid risk entirely, but to manage it intelligently. Diversification, research, and long-term planning are common strategies used to balance risk and reward. Rule 5. The system rewards consistency. Many people search for quick financial success through shortcuts or sudden opportunities. While occasional breakthroughs do occur, the financial system generally rewards consistent effort over long periods of time. Regular saving, disciplined investing, and continuous learning tend to produce stronger results than sporadic or impulsive decisions. Consistency also builds financial resilience. When individuals follow structured habits over time, they are better prepared to handle economic changes, unexpected expenses, or temporary setbacks. Winning the money game rarely depends on a single dramatic move. Instead, it often results from many small, wise decisions made repeatedly. Rule 6. Information creates advantage. In any game, players who understand the rules and strategies have an advantage over those who do not. The same principle applies to money. Financial knowledge allows individuals to recognize opportunities, avoid common mistakes, and make strategic decisions. Those who invest time in learning about markets, investments, and economic trends gain a clearer understanding of how the system operates. This does not mean that one must become a financial expert overnight. Even basic knowledge about budgeting, investing, and financial planning can significantly improve long-term outcomes. The more informed a player becomes, the more confidently they can navigate the financial landscape. Applying the rules. Understanding these rules does not guarantee instant wealth, but it provides a framework for making better financial choices. When you focus on creating value, you increase your earning potential. When you use time wisely, you allow investments to grow. When you prioritize assets over liabilities, you strengthen your financial position. When you manage risk carefully, you protect yourself from major losses. When you remain consistent, you build steady progress. Together, these principles form the foundation of the money game. In the next chapter, we will shift our focus to your personal starting position. Every player enters the financial game from a different place with unique strengths, challenges, and opportunities. Understanding where you currently stand is the first step towards building a strategy for moving forward.
Chapter 4: Starting Position, Financial Assessment. In every game, players begin from a starting position. In chess, each piece begins in a specific place on the board. In racing, competitors start from the same line before the race begins. However, in the money game, starting positions are rarely equal. Some people begin with financial advantages such as supportive families, access to education, or inherited wealth. Others may start with limited resources, debt, or fewer opportunities. While these differences can influence the early stages of the game, they do not determine the final outcome. What truly matters is understanding your current position and making strategic moves from there. A financial assessment is the process of honestly evaluating your current financial situation. It allows you to see where you stand on the game board and identify the steps needed to move forward. Without this clarity, it is difficult to build an effective strategy. Understanding your income. The first step in assessing your financial position is examining your income. Income represents the money you earn through work, business activities, investments, or other sources. For many people, income comes primarily from employment. A salary or wages provide the financial foundation that supports daily living expenses. However, income can also come from other sources, such as side businesses, freelance work, rental properties, dividends, or interest from investments. When evaluating income, it is helpful to ask several questions. How much money do I earn each month or year? Is my income stable or unpredictable? Do I rely on a single source of income or multiple streams? Understanding your income sources helps you determine how secure your financial position is and whether there is room to expand your earning potential. Examining your expenses. The next step is analyzing how money leaves your hands. Expenses include everything you spend money on, from essential needs to discretionary purchases. Common expenses include housing, food, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and personal spending. While many of these costs are necessary, others may simply reflect habits or lifestyle choices. Tracking expenses can reveal patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. Some people are surprised to discover how much money is spent on small, repeated purchases that add up over time. The goal of reviewing expenses is not to eliminate enjoyment from life, but to ensure that spending aligns with your long-term financial goals. Evaluating your assets. Assets are resources that contribute to your financial strength. They include anything that has value and can potentially generate income or increase your net worth. Examples of assets may include savings accounts, investment portfolios, real estate, businesses, valuable intellectual property, retirement funds. Assets provide financial stability and can serve as building blocks for future wealth. Some assets generate regular income, while others grow in value over time. During a financial assessment, it is important to identify all assets and estimate their current value. Understanding your liabilities. Liabilities represent financial obligations or debts that must be repaid. These may include credit card balances, personal loans, student loans, mortgages, or other financial commitments.
Debt is not always negative. In some cases, borrowing money can be a strategic move that helps build assets or create opportunities. For example, a loan used to start a profitable business may ultimately generate more wealth. However, excessive debt or poorly managed debt can place significant pressure on your finances. High interest rates, frequent payments, and growing balances can make it difficult to move forward in the money game. Understanding your liabilities helps you determine which debts require attention and which ones may be part of a broader financial strategy. Calculating your net worth. One of the most useful tools in a financial assessment is calculating your net worth. Net worth represents the difference between what you own and what you owe. The formula is simple. Net worth equals total assets minus total liabilities. A positive net worth means your assets exceed your debts. A negative net worth means your liabilities are greater than your assets. While this number does not define your value as a person, it provides a clear snapshot of your financial position at a given moment. Tracking net worth over time allows you to measure progress and evaluate whether your financial decisions are moving you in the right direction. Assessing your financial habits. Numbers tell an important story, but financial habits reveal the behaviors behind those numbers. Your habits influence how money enters and exits your life. Consider questions such as, do I regularly save a portion of my income? Do I make purchases based on long-term goals or short-term desires? Do I review my finances periodically or ignore them until problems arise? Positive financial habits create stability and momentum. Poor habits can quietly undermine progress even when income is strong. Recognizing your habits allows you to reinforce behaviors that support success and change those that hold you back. Turning awareness into strategy. The purpose of a financial assessment is not to judge yourself or compare your situation to others. Instead, it's about gaining awareness. Once you clearly understand your starting position, you can begin developing a strategy for improvement. A player who knows their strengths and weaknesses can make smarter moves. They can focus on increasing income, reducing unnecessary expenses, strengthening assets, and managing liabilities more effectively. Financial growth often begins with small adjustments that compound over time. By making intentional decisions and tracking your progress, you gradually move into stronger positions on the financial board. In the next chapter, we will explore early game strategies, practical actions that help players build a solid financial foundation and begin gaining momentum in the money game.
Chapter 5. Early Game Strategies. Building your foundation. Every successful game begins with a strong opening strategy. In chess, the opening moves determine how well a player controls the board later in the match. In sports, a team that builds momentum early often has a significant advantage as the game progresses. The same principle applies to the money game. Your early financial strategies are critical because they create the foundation upon which future wealth is built. Without a strong base, it becomes much harder to grow and protect money later on. Many people attempt advanced financial moves, such as complex investments, before they have built the basic structure necessary to support long-term success. Winning the early stage of the money game is not about becoming rich overnight. It is about creating stability, discipline, and momentum. Building financial awareness. The first step in building a strong financial foundation is awareness. Many people operate on financial autopilot, earning and spending money without carefully observing their financial behavior. Awareness begins with regularly monitoring your income, expenses, savings, and debts. When you know where your money is coming from and where it is going, you gain control over your financial decisions. This awareness also helps you recognize opportunities for improvement. Small adjustments, such as reducing unnecessary spending or increasing savings, can make a meaningful difference over time. Financial awareness transforms money from a vague concept into something measurable and manageable. Creating a practical budget. A budget is one of the most powerful tools in the early stages of the money game. Despite its reputation, budgeting is not about restricting your life or eliminating enjoyment. Instead, it is about directing your money towards your priorities. A well-designed budget ensures that essential expenses are covered while also allocating funds for savings, investments, and personal enjoyment. It provides a structure that helps prevent overspending and encourages intentional decision-making. One effective budgeting approach is to divide income into categories such as essential living expenses, savings and investments, personal spending, and lifestyle choices. By assigning each portion of your income a purpose, you create a system that supports long-term financial stability. Establishing an emergency fund. Unexpected events are an unavoidable part of life. Medical expenses, job changes, or urgent repairs can disrupt financial plans without warning. Without preparation, these events may force individuals to rely on high-interest debt or emergency borrowing. An emergency fund acts as a financial safety net. It is a reserve of money set aside specifically to handle unforeseen expenses. This fund provides peace of mind and protects your financial progress during difficult situations. Many financial experts recommend building an emergency fund that covers several months of essential living expenses. While reaching this goal may take time, even a modest reserve can provide valuable protection. Having an emergency fund allows you to continue playing the money game without being knocked off the board by unexpected challenges. Eliminating harmful debt. Not all debt is equal. Some forms of borrowing may support long-term growth, such as financing education or investing in a productive asset. However, high-interest consumer debt can quickly become a major obstacle in the money game. Credit card balances and short-term loans often carry high interest rates that cause debts to grow rapidly. As interest accumulates, more of your income is diverted toward repayment instead of wealth building. Reducing and eliminating harmful debt frees up financial resources that can be redirected towards savings and investments. Many people use structured approaches to tackle debt, such as focusing on the smallest balance first or prioritizing debts with the highest interest rates. Whichever method you choose, the goal is to gradually remove financial burdens that limit your progress. Increasing your earning power. While managing expenses is important, long-term financial success also depends on increasing income. There is a limit to how much spending can be reduced, but income has far greater potential for expansion. Increasing earning power often involves developing valuable skills, gaining experience, or exploring new opportunities that generate additional income. Skills that solve meaningful problems tend to command higher rewards in the financial system. By investing time and effort into learning and personal development, you increase your value in the marketplace. Over time, higher earning potential provides more resources for saving, investing, and building financial independence. Developing strong financial habits. The early stage of the money game is largely shaped by habits. Consistent behaviors, repeated over time, create powerful results. Examples of positive financial habits include saving a portion of every income payment, reviewing financial progress regularly, avoiding impulsive spending, and continuously learning about money and investing. These habits may appear simple, but their long-term impact is significant. Small, consistent actions accumulate into meaningful financial growth. Players who develop disciplined habits early in the game often find it much easier to navigate later stages. Creating momentum.
The purpose of early game strategies is to build momentum. Once financial stability is established, new opportunities become easier to pursue. Savings begin to grow, investments become possible, and financial decisions become more strategic. Momentum creates confidence. When you see progress in your finances, you become more motivated to continue improving. Just as in any game, the early moves set the stage for what comes next. By focusing on awareness, budgeting, emergency preparedness, debt management, and income growth, you create a solid platform for future success. In the next chapter, we will explore one of the most powerful yet often overlooked elements of the money game, psychology. Your mindset, beliefs, and emotional responses can have a profound impact on financial outcomes. Understanding the psychology of winning will help you strengthen the mental side of the game.
I believe you are enjoying this episode of the book. The more reason you should subscribe to Brain Popcorn Channel to grow bigger and better. Chapter 6: The Psychology of Winning, Mindset and Money. In every game, skill and strategy matter, but psychology often determines who ultimately wins. Two players may have the same knowledge, the same resources, and the same opportunities, yet one succeeds while the other struggles. The difference is frequently found in mindset. The money game is no exception. Your beliefs about money, success, risk, and opportunity shape the decisions you make every day. These beliefs influence how you earn, spend, save, and invest. In many cases, people lose the money game not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because their mindset works against them. Understanding the psychology of money allows you to recognize hidden patterns in your thinking and develop a mindset that supports long-term success. The scarcity mindset versus the abundance mindset. One of the most important psychological differences in the money game is the contrast between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset is rooted in fear and limitation. People with this mindset believe that opportunities are rare, money is difficult to obtain, and success for others reduces their own chances. As a result, they may avoid risks, resist new opportunities, or feel discouraged when others succeed. An abundance mindset, on the other hand, is based on the belief that opportunities can be created and expanded. Individuals with this mindset see challenges as learning experiences and believe that value, creativity, and effort can generate new possibilities. This does not mean ignoring risks or pretending that challenges do not exist. Instead, it means focusing on solutions rather than limitations. Players with an abundance mindset are more likely to explore new ideas, build valuable skills, and pursue opportunities that others overlook. Delayed gratification. Another powerful psychological trait among successful players is the ability to delay gratification. This means resisting the temptation of immediate rewards in favor of greater long-term benefits. In the money game, delayed gratification often appears in decisions such as saving money instead of spending it, investing for the future rather than chasing quick profits, or working toward long-term goals rather than seeking instant comfort. Many financial challenges arise because people prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term stability. Impulsive spending, risky speculation, and poor financial planning are often driven by the desire for immediate satisfaction. Those who learn to delay gratification gain a significant advantage. They allow time, discipline, and strategy to work in their favor. Emotional control. Money is not just a logical subject, it is also deeply emotional. Fear, excitement, pride, envy, and anxiety can all influence financial decisions. For example, during periods of economic uncertainty, fear may cause individuals to withdraw from investments even when long-term opportunities remain strong. During periods of rapid market growth, excitement may lead people to invest recklessly without proper research. Emotional reactions can push players to make decisions that contradict their long-term strategies. Successful players learn to manage these emotions. They recognize that financial markets and opportunities will always involve some level of uncertainty. Instead of reacting impulsively, they rely on thoughtful planning and rational decision-making. Emotional discipline helps players stay focused on their goals even when circumstances change. Confidence and self-belief. Confidence plays a significant role in financial progress. Individuals who believe in their ability to learn, adapt, and grow are more likely to pursue opportunities and overcome setbacks. This type of confidence is not based on arrogance or unrealistic expectations. Instead, it comes from preparation, education, and experience. As players gain knowledge and develop skills, their confidence naturally increases. Self-belief encourages people to take calculated risks, start businesses, learn new financial strategies, and invest in their own growth. Without confidence, even the most promising opportunities may be ignored or abandoned. Learning from failure. No player wins every move in the money game. Mistakes, losses, and setbacks are inevitable parts of the journey. What separates successful players from struggling ones is how they respond to failure. Some people treat financial mistakes as permanent defeats. They become discouraged, withdraw from opportunities, and avoid future risks. Others treat mistakes as valuable lessons that improve their understanding of the game. Failure often provides insights that cannot be learned through theory alone. Each mistake reveals something about strategy, timing, risk management, or personal behavior. Players who analyze their setbacks and adjust their approach become stronger and more experienced over time. Building a winning mindset. Developing a strong financial mindset requires consistent effort and self-awareness. Just as physical training improves athletic performance, mental training strengthens your ability to navigate the money game. Some practical ways to build a winning mindset include continuously educating yourself about finance and investing, surrounding yourself with people who value growth and learning, setting clear financial goals and tracking progress, practicing patience and discipline in financial decisions. Over time, these habits shape your thinking and influence the way you approach opportunities and challenges. The inner game of money. While external strategies such as budgeting, investing, and earning income are essential, the internal game is equally important. Your mindset determines whether you apply these strategies consistently and effectively. A strong financial mindset allows you to remain calm during uncertainty, patient during slow progress, and confident when pursuing new opportunities. In many ways, mastering your psychology is one of the most powerful moves in the money game. In the next chapter, we will explore common rookie mistakes that cause many players to lose momentum early in the game. By recognizing these pitfalls in advance, you can avoid unnecessary setbacks and stay focused on building long-term financial success.
Chapter 7. Common Rookie Mistakes, Pitfalls to Avoid. Every game has beginners, and beginners almost always make mistakes. This is a normal part of learning. In sports, a rookie might misjudge timing or positioning. In chess, a new player may overlook simple tactics and lose pieces unnecessarily. The money game is no different. Many financial mistakes happen not because people are careless, but because they are unaware of the traps that exist within the financial system.
These traps often appear harmless at first, but can quietly slow progress or even push players backward. Understanding these common rookie mistakes can help you avoid unnecessary setbacks and keep your financial journey moving in the right direction. Living beyond your means. One of the most common financial mistakes is spending more money than you earn. This habit often begins gradually. A person might rely on credit to purchase items they cannot immediately afford, believing they will pay it off later. Over time, these expenses accumulate, interest charges increase the total cost, and repayment becomes more difficult. Eventually, a significant portion of income may go towards servicing debt rather than building wealth. Living within your means does not require extreme frugality. It simply means ensuring that your lifestyle is supported by your income and that you maintain room for saving and investing. Players who control their spending maintain greater flexibility and financial stability. Lifestyle inflation. Another common trap is lifestyle inflation. This occurs when a person's spending increases every time their income rises. For example, when someone receives a raise or earns additional income, they may upgrade their home, purchase more expensive clothing, or adopt more costly habits. While enjoying the rewards of hard work is reasonable, continuously increasing expenses can prevent wealth from growing. If income rises but spending rises just as quickly, financial progress remains limited. Successful players often adopt a balanced approach. When their income increases, they may improve their quality of life modestly while directing a portion of the additional income towards savings and investments. This approach allows wealth to grow alongside lifestyle improvements. Ignoring financial education. Many people spend years developing professional skills while neglecting financial education. They learn how to earn money, but never learn how to manage or grow it effectively. As a result, they may rely entirely on their income without understanding investing, asset building, or long-term financial planning. This knowledge gap can lead to missed opportunities and costly mistakes. Financial education does not require advanced degrees or complicated theories. Even basic knowledge about budgeting, saving, investing, and risk management can significantly improve financial outcomes. Players who continually educate themselves gain a long-term advantage in the money game. Emotional spending. Money decisions are often influenced by emotions rather than logic. People may spend money when they feel stressed, excited, bored, or pressured by social expectations. For instance, someone might purchase luxury items to impress others, celebrate success with excessive spending, or seek comfort in shopping during difficult times. While occasional indulgence is natural, repeated emotional spending can disrupt financial stability. Small, impulsive purchases may seem insignificant individually, but over time, they can consume a large portion of income. Learning to pause and reflect before making purchases can help reduce emotional spending and encourage more intentional decisions. Chasing quick money. The desire for fast wealth can lead many beginners into risky situations. Opportunities that promise rapid profits with little effort often attract inexperienced players. These opportunities may include speculative investments, gambling-like trading strategies, or schemes that promise guaranteed returns. While some high-risk ventures can succeed, many are based on unrealistic expectations or incomplete information. Players who chase quick money often ignore fundamental principles such as research, diversification, and long-term planning. In the money game, patience is often more valuable than speed. Sustainable wealth tends to grow gradually through disciplined decisions rather than sudden windfalls. Failing to plan for the future. Another common mistake is focusing entirely on present needs without preparing for future responsibilities. Retirement, education, healthcare, and long-term investments require planning many years in advance. Without preparation, individuals may reach later stages of life without sufficient financial resources. Planning for the future does not mean sacrificing the present. Instead, it involves balancing current enjoyment with long-term security. Even small contributions to savings and investments can grow significantly over time when managed consistently. Comparing yourself to others. Social comparison is another trap that can distort financial decisions. In a world filled with social media and visible displays of wealth, it is easy to feel pressure to match the lifestyle of others. However, appearances can be misleading. Some individuals who appear wealthy may actually be heavily in debt or struggling financially behind the scenes. The money game is deeply personal. Each player has different goals, responsibilities, and circumstances. Focusing on your own progress rather than competing with others helps maintain clarity and discipline. Learning from mistakes. Every player makes mistakes at some point. The goal is not to achieve perfection, but to learn quickly and adjust strategies when necessary. Recognizing these common rookie mistakes gives you the advantage of foresight. Instead of discovering these pitfalls through costly experience, you can avoid them by making thoughtful decisions. By controlling spending, continuing your financial education, avoiding impulsive choices, and maintaining long-term focus, you strengthen your position in the game. As you progress beyond the beginner stage, new opportunities begin to appear. In the next chapter, we will explore mid-game tactics, strategies that allow players to accelerate their financial growth and begin expanding their wealth beyond the basic foundations established in the early stages of the game. Chapter 8: Mid-Game Tactics: Growing Your Wealth. Once the early stage of the money game is under control, players begin entering the mid-game. At this point, the focus shifts from simply surviving financially to actively growing wealth. The foundation has already been established. Income is more stable, spending is controlled, and basic financial habits are in place. Now the objective becomes expansion. The mid-game is where many players begin to separate themselves. Those who apply smart strategies begin building significant financial momentum, while others remain stuck at the same level for years. Growing wealth requires intention, discipline, and the willingness to take calculated steps beyond basic financial management. Expanding income streams. One of the most effective mid-game strategies is developing multiple income streams. Relying entirely on a single paycheck can limit financial growth and increase vulnerability if that income suddenly stops. Multiple income streams provide both security and opportunity. They create additional resources that can be reinvested into wealth-building activities. Examples of additional income streams include side businesses or freelance services, consulting or specialized professional skills, online content creation or digital products, rental income from property, dividends or interest from investments. The goal is not to pursue every opportunity available, but to identify opportunities that align with your skills, interests, and long-term financial plans. Over time, additional income streams can grow large enough to reduce dependence on a primary job. Leveraging skills for greater value. In the financial system, income is often closely tied to the value a person can provide. As players move into the mid-game, they often begin refining and expanding their most valuable skills. Highly valuable skills usually share several characteristics. They solve meaningful problems, they are difficult to replace, and they create measurable results. Examples might include leadership, technology development, sales expertise, strategic thinking, or specialized professional knowledge. By continuously improving these skills, individuals increase their ability to generate income and access better opportunities. Investing in your own development may produce some of the highest returns available in the money game. Strategic saving and investing.
During the early stages of the game, savings help create stability. In the mid-game, savings begin to serve a larger purpose, fueling investment. Investing allows money to work on your behalf. Instead of relying solely on active effort to earn income, investments can generate growth through appreciation, dividends, or interest. Some common investment categories include stock markets and index funds, real estate properties, business ownership, bonds, or other income-generating assets. Each investment option carries its own risks and potential rewards. Successful players take time to understand these opportunities and align them with their personal financial goals. The key is consistency. Regular contributions to investments combined with patience can create substantial growth over time. Reinvesting profits. Another important mid-game tactic is reinvesting profits rather than immediately spending them. When a business generates profit or an investment produces returns, reinvesting those gains can accelerate long-term growth. For example, profits from a small business may be used to expand operations, develop new products, or reach new markets. Investment returns may be used to purchase additional assets that generate further income. Reinvestment creates a compounding effect where growth feeds further growth. Players who consistently reinvest their gains often experience faster financial expansion than those who consume all their profits. Building financial systems. As wealth grows, managing finances becomes more complex. Mid-game players often benefit from developing systems that organize and automate financial activities. Examples of financial systems include automated savings and investment contributions, structured financial planning and goal tracking, professional guidance from accountants or financial advisors, organized records for taxes and investments. These systems reduce the risk of oversight and help maintain consistency in financial decision-making. By creating reliable systems, players can focus more on strategy and opportunity rather than day-to-day financial management. Maintaining discipline during growth. Growth can be exciting, but it can also introduce new risks. As income and investments expand, it may become tempting to increase spending dramatically or pursue risky opportunities without proper evaluation. Maintaining discipline during the mid-game is essential. Players who remain patient and strategic are better positioned to handle market fluctuations, economic changes, and unexpected challenges. Financial growth is rarely a perfectly smooth journey. Markets rise and fall, businesses face obstacles, and opportunities sometimes require adjustment. Staying focused on long-term goals helps players navigate these changes effectively. Preparing for advanced strategies. The mid-game is not the final stage of the money game, but it prepares players for advanced financial strategies. As wealth grows, new possibilities emerge: larger investments, business expansion, and more sophisticated financial planning. Players who successfully navigate the mid-game often reach a point where their financial resources begin generating substantial income on their own. This transition leads into the next stage of the game, where advanced moves can significantly accelerate wealth. Chapter 9: Advanced Moves. Investment Strategies. As players progress in the money game, they eventually reach a stage where basic financial habits and mid-game tactics are no longer enough to create the level of wealth they desire. At this point, the focus shifts toward advanced strategies, moves designed to accelerate financial growth and expand opportunities. These advanced moves are primarily centered around investing. Investing allows players to move beyond the limits of earned income. Instead of relying only on the hours they work, investors place their money into assets that have the potential to grow and produce income over time. When done wisely, investing can transform financial progress from slow and steady to powerful and scalable. However, advanced investment strategies require careful thinking, patience, and a willingness to learn. Understanding the purpose of investing.
Before exploring specific strategies, it is important to understand why investing is such a powerful tool in the money game. Income earned through work has natural limits. There are only so many hours in a day, and physical or mental effort can only be extended so far. Investing removes this limitation by allowing money itself to generate additional money. For example, when someone invests in a company, they become partial owner of that business. If the company grows and becomes more profitable, the value of those shares may increase. Some investors focus on individual companies they believe will perform well. Others prefer diversified funds that track large portions of the market, allowing them to participate in overall economic growth. Stock market investing often rewards patience. Short-term price fluctuations are common, but long-term trends frequently reflect the growth of businesses and innovation. Investors who approach the market with discipline and long-term thinking often benefit from this growth. Real estate investment. Real estate has long been considered a powerful wealth-building asset. Property can generate income through rent while also increasing in value over time. Real estate investments can take many forms, including residential rental properties, commercial buildings, or land development projects. Each type of property carries its own potential rewards and risks. One advantage of real estate is its ability to produce consistent cash flow. Rental income can provide a steady stream of money while the underlying property continues to appreciate. Additionally, real estate can offer certain financial advantages, such as leverage. By using borrowed funds responsibly, investors may be able to control larger assets with relatively smaller initial investments. However, real estate also requires careful management, research, and long-term commitment. Business ownership. Another advanced move in the money game is owning or investing in businesses. Businesses have the potential to generate significant income because they create value at scale. A successful business can serve thousands or even millions of customers. As demand grows, profits may increase dramatically. Some individuals choose to start their own businesses, while others invest in companies founded by entrepreneurs. Both approaches can provide powerful financial opportunities. Business ownership also offers the advantage of control. Owners can influence strategy, innovation, and expansion in ways that traditional investments may not allow. Of course, businesses also carry risk. Success often depends on leadership, market demand, competition, and execution. Long-term thinking. One of the defining characteristics of successful investors is long-term thinking. Many beginners approach investing with the expectation of quick profits. When markets fluctuate or returns take time to appear, they may become discouraged. Experienced players understand that wealth-building investments often require patience. Growth compounds gradually, and consistent participation in the market can produce powerful results over time. Long-term thinking also reduces the temptation to react emotionally to short-term market changes. Instead of chasing trends or panicking during downturns, disciplined investors remain focused on their broader strategy. Continuous learning. The investment landscape is constantly evolving. New technologies, economic shifts, and global developments create new opportunities and challenges. For this reason, advanced players treat investing as an ongoing learning process. They study markets, analyze trends, and remain curious about emerging opportunities. Books, financial reports, educational resources, and discussions with experienced investors can all contribute to a deeper understanding of the investment world. Knowledge helps players make informed decisions and adapt their strategies as conditions change. Preparing for the next level. Advanced investment strategies allow players to grow wealth more efficiently, but growth also introduces new responsibilities. As assets expand, protecting those assets becomes increasingly important. Risk management, financial planning, and asset protection begin to play a larger role in the money game. In the next chapter, we will explore defense mechanisms, strategies designed to safeguard wealth, manage risk, and ensure that financial progress remains secure even in uncertain conditions.
Chapter 10: Defense Mechanisms, Risk Management and Protection. In every game, offense alone is not enough to win. Even the strongest players must defend their position. In sports, teams protect their goal while attacking their opponent's side. In chess, a skilled player not only advances pieces, but also protects the king and guards against unexpected attacks. The money game follows the same principle. As wealth begins to grow, protecting it becomes just as important as building it. Many players work hard to accumulate assets, but fail to implement strategies that safeguard their financial progress. Without proper protection, unexpected events, economic downturns, or poor planning can quickly erase years of effort. Defense mechanisms in the financial world focus on risk management and asset protection. These strategies help players maintain stability and preserve the wealth they have worked to build. Understanding risk. Risk is an unavoidable part of the money game. Every investment, business decision, or financial opportunity carries some degree of uncertainty. Markets fluctuate, industries change, and unforeseen events can disrupt even the most carefully designed plans. However, risk does not necessarily mean danger. In many cases, risk is simply the price of opportunity. Higher potential rewards often come with higher uncertainty. The goal of risk management is not to eliminate risk entirely. That would be impossible. Instead, it involves understanding potential risks and taking steps to minimize their negative impact. Players who manage risk effectively remain resilient even when circumstances change. Building an emergency buffer. One of the simplest and most powerful defense mechanisms is maintaining a financial buffer. An emergency fund provides a reserve of money that can be used during unexpected situations, such as job loss, medical expenses, or urgent repairs. Without this buffer, individuals may be forced to sell investments at unfavorable times or accumulate high-interest debt to cover emergencies. A well-maintained emergency fund protects both financial stability and peace of mind. It allows players to continue pursuing long-term strategies without being derailed by short-term problems. Diversifying investments. Diversification is another key defense strategy. By spreading investments across different asset classes, industries, and geographic regions, players reduce their exposure to any single source of risk. For example, if all investments are concentrated in one industry and that industry experiences a downturn, financial losses could be significant. However, if investments are spread across several sectors, declines in one area may be offset by stability or growth in another. Diversification does not guarantee profits, but it helps create balance within an investment portfolio. Experienced players often review their portfolios regularly to ensure that their investments remain well diversified and aligned with their long-term goals. Insurance as financial protection. Insurance serves as another important layer of defense in the money game. It protects individuals and families from financial losses caused by unexpected events. Different types of insurance address different risks. Health insurance can help manage medical expenses. Property insurance can protect homes and belongings, and life insurance can provide financial support to loved ones in the event of tragedy. While insurance requires regular payments, it can prevent a single unexpected event from causing severe financial damage. In this way, insurance functions like a shield that protects players from some of the most serious financial threats. Legal and structural protection. As wealth grows, players often consider legal structures that protect their assets. Business owners, for example, may establish legal entities that separate personal assets from business liabilities. This separation helps ensure that personal finances are not automatically exposed to business risks. Similarly, legal planning can help protect property, investments, and intellectual assets. Working with knowledgeable professionals, such as legal advisors or financial planners, can help players design structures that align with their goals and local regulations. Proper legal planning strengthens the defensive side of the money game. Preparing for economic cycles. The financial world moves through cycles of growth, stability, and contraction. Periods of economic expansion may bring rising markets and increased opportunity, while downturns may introduce uncertainty and declining asset values. Players who understand these cycles are better prepared to adapt their strategies. During strong economic periods, they may focus on growth and expansion. During uncertain periods, they may emphasize stability, liquidity, and defensive investments. Preparation allows players to remain calm when markets change. Instead of reacting impulsively, they can rely on their long-term plans. Protecting your financial mindset. Defense mechanisms are not limited to financial tools alone. Protecting your mindset is equally important. Economic uncertainty, market volatility, and unexpected losses can trigger fear or anxiety. These emotions may lead players to abandon long-term strategies or make impulsive decisions. Maintaining emotional discipline helps prevent these reactions. Experienced players understand that temporary setbacks are part of the money game. They focus on long-term trends rather than short-term fluctuations. By protecting their mindset, they remain focused and resilient. The balance between growth and protection. The most successful players understand that wealth building requires a balance between offense and defense. Growth strategies expand wealth, while protective strategies preserve it. Without growth, financial progress stagnates. Without protection, progress can disappear. By managing risk, maintaining emergency reserves, diversifying investments, and planning for uncertainty, players create a financial system that supports both expansion and stability. In the next chapter, we will explore multiplayer dynamics, the role of collaboration, partnerships, and networks in the money game. As players progress further, they often discover that financial success becomes easier when they learn to work with others who share similar goals and complementary strengths. Chapter 11: Multiplayer Dynamics, Business and Partnerships. In most games, playing alone has its limits. Whether in team sports, cooperative video games, or strategy competitions, success often depends on understanding how to work with others. The money game is no different. While individual effort is important, collaboration, partnerships, and networking can multiply your opportunities and accelerate your financial growth. Understanding multiplayer dynamics means recognizing the roles that others play and learning how to align your goals with theirs. It's about leveraging relationships, sharing resources, and creating win-win scenarios that benefit all parties involved. The power of partnerships. Partnerships are strategic alliances where two or more individuals or organizations combine resources, skills, and efforts to achieve shared objectives. In business and investing, partnerships can take many forms, such as co-founding a company with complementary skill sets, joint ventures for a specific project or market expansion, investment partnerships pooling capital for larger opportunities. The key to successful partnerships is alignment. Each party should bring value, share responsibility, and benefit fairly from the collaboration. When executed properly, partnerships can create opportunities that would be impossible to achieve alone. For example, one partner may have technical expertise while the other has marketing skills. By working together, they can build a stronger business than either could alone.
Networking is another powerful multiplayer dynamic. The people you surround yourself with can significantly impact your financial success. Strong networks provide access to new opportunities and collaborations, mentorship and guidance from experienced players, insights into emerging trends or market gaps, support during challenges or business setbacks. Effective networking is not about collecting contacts. It's about building meaningful relationships based on trust, mutual respect, and shared goals. Players who cultivate strong networks often find doors opening that others cannot reach. The role of collaboration. Collaboration goes beyond formal partnerships. It's about working with others to create value that benefits multiple parties. This can include teaming up on investment opportunities, sharing expertise in a cooperative project, pooling resources for larger-scale initiatives. Collaboration allows you to leverage strength you don't possess yourself, while also offering your own skills and resources to others. When done correctly, the outcome is greater than the sum of its parts. Understanding leverage in multiplayer dynamics. Leverage in business and partnerships is the ability to use resources, skills, or relationships to achieve results beyond what you could do alone. In the multiplayer money game, leverage is often the key to exponential growth. Examples of leverage include bringing in investors to scale a business faster, hiring skilled professionals to handle specialized tasks, forming alliances to enter new markets. The more effectively you use leverage, the faster your wealth-building potential increases. However, it's crucial to maintain accountability and ensure that partnerships remain mutually beneficial. Poorly structured collaborations can lead to conflict, financial loss, or missed opportunities. Avoiding pitfalls in multiplayer dynamics. While partnerships and collaboration can accelerate growth, they also introduce new risks. Common mistakes include entering partnerships without clear agreements or roles, relying too heavily on others without maintaining control of your own assets, partnering with individuals whose goals or values conflict with yours. Successful players carefully evaluate potential collaborators, establish transparent agreements, and maintain open communication. Trust is important, but verification and structure are essential. Leveraging mentorship. Mentorship is a special type of multiplayer dynamic that provides guidance and accelerates learning. Experienced mentors can offer insights, strategies, and warnings based on their own successes and failures. Mentors don't do the work for you. They guide your decisions and help you avoid common pitfalls. By learning from those who have already navigated the financial board, you gain a significant advantage and reduce costly trial and error. Collaboration beyond money. Multiplayer dynamics are not only about wealth. Strategic relationships can enhance knowledge, skill, influence, and even emotional resilience. Players who develop strong interpersonal skills often find that collaboration improves all aspects of their financial game. Building a networked approach. To thrive in multiplayer dynamics, consider these steps. Identify areas where collaboration can create value, seek partners with complementary skills, resources, or insights, build strong relationships based on trust and mutual benefit, use leverage responsibly to scale efforts and results, continuously evaluate and adapt partnerships as circumstances change. When executed strategically, multiplayer dynamics allow you to multiply your impact, access opportunities faster, and achieve results that would be difficult or impossible alone. In the next chapter, we will examine the end game of the money game, financial freedom. This is the stage where strategic planning, disciplined habits, and smart partnerships converge to create independence, security, and the ability to live life on your own terms. Chapter 12. In-Game Mastery. Financial Freedom. Every game has an endgame.
In chess, the endgame is the final phase where only a few pieces remain on the board, and every move becomes extremely important. Players who reach this stage successfully have already survived the early and mid-game, built strong positions, and carefully protected their assets. In the money game, the endgame represents financial freedom. Financial freedom is the point where your financial resources generate enough income to support your lifestyle without requiring constant active work. It does not necessarily mean having unlimited wealth. Instead, it means having control over your time, your choices, and your future. Reaching this stage is the result of consistent strategy, discipline, and patience over many years. Understanding financial freedom. Financial freedom occurs when passive income meets or exceeds living expenses. Passive income is money generated from assets rather than direct labor. These assets may include investments, rental properties, businesses, royalties, or other income-producing resources. For example, if your monthly expenses are covered by income from investments, you are no longer dependent on a paycheck to survive. You may still choose to work, but work becomes a choice rather than a necessity. This shift changes the entire relationship between time and money. Instead of trading hours for income, your assets begin working on your behalf. Designing your ideal lifestyle. One important aspect of in-game mastery is defining what financial freedom actually means for you. Different people have different visions of freedom. Some individuals desire a simple lifestyle with minimal expenses and maximum personal time. Others may prefer to maintain a high standard of living, supported by larger investment portfolios or business income. The key is clarity. When you know the lifestyle you want, you can calculate the level of passive income required to sustain it. This provides a clear target for your financial strategy. Without a defined goal, players may accumulate wealth without ever feeling satisfied or secure. The role of passive income. Passive income is the engine that powers financial freedom. Unlike earned income, which requires ongoing work, passive income continues even when you are not actively working. Common sources of passive income include dividends from stocks or investment funds, rental income from property, profits distributed from business ownership, interest from bonds or financial instruments, royalties from intellectual property. Building these streams usually requires time, capital, and patience. However, once established, they create a stable financial foundation that supports independence. The goal is to gradually increase passive income until it comfortably covers your living expenses. Managing wealth responsibly. Reaching financial freedom does not mean the money game is over. In fact, responsible management becomes even more important at this stage. Wealth must continue to be protected, diversified, and monitored. Economic conditions change, markets fluctuate, and new opportunities arise. Players who maintain discipline and strategic thinking ensure that their financial freedom remains secure. This stage often involves regular portfolio reviews, continued diversification of assets, careful tax planning, long-term wealth preservation strategies. In-game mastery requires balance between enjoying life and maintaining financial stability. The freedom of time. Perhaps the greatest benefit of financial freedom is control over time. Time is the most valuable resource in life because it cannot be replaced. When financial pressure is reduced, individuals gain the ability to choose how they spend their time. Some may pursue creative projects, travel, or personal passions. Others may dedicate their energy to mentoring, philanthropy, or community development. Financial freedom allows players to focus on activities that bring fulfillment rather than simply generating income. Avoiding the in-game trap. Ironically, some players reach financial success but struggle to enjoy it. They may become so focused on accumulating wealth that they forget the original purpose of the money game.
The goal of financial freedom is not endless accumulation. It is the ability to live a meaningful life without constant financial stress. Players who recognize this balance often experience the greatest satisfaction from their success. Preparing for the next chapter. The endgame is not only about personal freedom, it also presents an opportunity to think beyond oneself. Many individuals who reach financial independence begin considering how their resources, knowledge, and experience can benefit others. They may support charitable causes, invest in future generations, or mentor aspiring entrepreneurs. This broader perspective leads to the final stage of the money game: legacy and impact. In the next chapter, we will explore how true winners go beyond personal wealth and focus on creating lasting influence, building systems, opportunities, and resources that continue benefiting others long after they leave the board. Chapter 13: Legacy and Impact. Winning beyond yourself. Reaching financial freedom is a major achievement in the money game. It represents years of discipline, smart decisions, and persistence. However, the greatest players eventually realize that true success goes beyond personal wealth. The final stage of the money game is about legacy and impact. Legacy is what remains after you are gone. It is the lasting influence you leave behind through your actions, values, knowledge, and resources. While money can provide comfort and freedom during your lifetime, legacy ensures that your efforts continue to benefit others long into the future. Winning the money game at the highest level means thinking beyond yourself and using your success to create positive change. Redefining wealth. Many people measure wealth only in terms of money. While financial resources are important, true wealth often includes several other dimensions: knowledge and wisdom, strong relationships, opportunities created for others, contributions to community and society. When players reach the legacy stage, they begin to see money as a tool rather than a final goal. The focus shifts from simply accumulating wealth to using it in ways that create lasting value. This shift in perspective transforms success into something much more meaningful. Building generational wealth. One of the most powerful ways to create legacy is by building generational wealth. Generational wealth refers to financial resources, assets, and opportunities that are passed down to future generations. This may include investment portfolios, businesses, real estate holdings, educational funds, financial knowledge, and guidance. However, passing down money alone is not enough. Without proper knowledge and responsibility, inherited wealth can quickly disappear. For this reason, many successful individuals focus not only on transferring assets, but also on teaching financial education to their children and future generations. When both wealth and wisdom are passed forward, families gain a powerful foundation for long-term stability and growth. Mentorship and guidance. Another important aspect of legacy is mentorship. Sharing knowledge and experience with others can have a profound impact on their lives and careers. Mentorship allows experienced players to guide those who are earlier in their financial journey. By sharing lessons learned from successes and failures, mentors help others avoid common mistakes and accelerate their progress. This form of contribution extends your influence far beyond your own achievements. Each person you help may go on to help others, creating a ripple effect of knowledge and opportunity. In this way, mentorship becomes one of the most valuable forms of legacy. Philanthropy and social impact. Many individuals who reach financial independence choose to contribute to charitable causes or community development. Philanthropy allows wealth to support education, healthcare, environmental initiatives, and other social improvements. These contributions can take many forms: supporting educational programs or scholarships, funding community projects, donating to charitable organizations, investing in solutions to social challenges. Philanthropy is not limited to large donations. Even small contributions, when directed thoughtfully, can make a meaningful difference. The goal is not recognition, but impact, helping create a better world for others. Creating opportunities. Another powerful way to leave a legacy is by creating opportunities for others. Entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders often do this by building organizations that provide employment, mentorship, and growth for others. Businesses that operate with strong values and long-term vision can positively influence communities and economies. By providing jobs, trainings, and innovation, they become engines of opportunity for many people. This type of legacy extends far beyond financial gain. Living with purpose. Legacy is not only about what happens after your life, it is also about how you live each day, the values you demonstrate, the people you help, and the choices you make all contribute to your impact. Players who focus on purpose often experience deeper fulfillment than those who pursue wealth alone. They recognize that success is most meaningful when it improves the lives of others. Purpose transforms financial success into something greater than personal achievement. The true victory. The money game begins with learning how to earn, manage, and grow wealth. Over time, players develop strategies that allow them to gain financial independence and control over their lives. But the ultimate victory lies in what happens after that. When your knowledge, resources, and actions create opportunities for others, when your work improves the lives of people you may never meet, when your influence continues long after your own journey ends, that is when you truly win the money game. Your legacy becomes the final move, one that continues shaping the board long after you have left it.
Conclusion: your game plan. Every game eventually reaches a moment when the player must take action. Learning the rules, understanding the players, and studying strategies are important, but knowledge alone does not change the outcome of the game. Progress happens only when a player begins to move with intention. Throughout this book, we have explored the money game from many angles. You have seen how the financial system operates, who the key players are, and the rules that govern how money moves. You have learned about the importance of assessing your starting position, building a strong financial foundation, developing the right mindset, and avoiding common mistakes. You have also discovered strategies for growing wealth, protecting assets, collaborating with others, and eventually reaching financial freedom. Finally, we explored the idea that true success goes beyond personal gain and extends into legacy and impact. Now the question becomes simple. What will your next move be? Step 1. Accept that you're already in the game. The first step in your game plan is recognizing that you are already on the financial board. Whether you are aware of it or not, every financial decision you make influences your position in the game. Every dollar earned, saved, spent, or invested is a move. Some people ignore the game and allow circumstances to control their financial future. Others choose to become intentional players who study the board and make strategic decisions. The choice is always yours. Step 2. Know your position. A strong strategy begins with clarity. Understanding your current financial position allows you to make realistic and effective plans. Take time to evaluate your income sources, your spending habits, your savings and investments, your debts and financial obligations. This assessment provides a starting point for improvement. It helps you identify strengths to build upon and weaknesses that require attention. Every great player begins by studying the board. Step 3. Build your foundation. If your financial foundation is not yet strong, focus on the basics first. Establish stable habits such as budgeting, saving consistently, and reducing harmful debt. Build an emergency fund to protect yourself from unexpected challenges. Develop skills that increase your earning potential and create opportunities for growth. These early moves may seem simple, but they create the stability required for long-term success. Step 4. Grow your wealth. Once your foundation is secure, shift your focus toward expansion. Begin investing, building additional income streams, and creating assets that generate value over time. Be patient and disciplined. Wealth rarely appears overnight. Instead, it grows steadily through consistent action and smart decision-making. Reinvest your gains, continue learning, and stay focused on long-term progress rather than short-term distractions. Step 6. Protect what you build. As your financial position improves, protecting your assets becomes increasingly important. Diversify your investments, manage risk carefully, and create systems that preserve your wealth. Preparation and planning help ensure that unexpected events do not erase years of effort. A strong defense keeps you in the game. Step 7. Define your victory. At some point, you must decide what winning means to you. For many players, the ultimate goal is financial freedom, the ability to live life without constant financial pressure. However, the definition of success is personal. Some people seek flexibility and time with family, while others pursue ambitious projects or global impact. The important thing is to design a life that reflects your values and priorities. Step 8. Play the long game. The money game is not a short race. It is a long journey filled with opportunities, lessons, and adjustments along the way. There will be moments of progress and moments of challenge. Markets may rise and fall. Plans may evolve as your goals change. What matters most is staying committed to the principles that support long-term success: discipline, learning, patience, and resilience. Players who remain focused on the long game often achieve the most meaningful victories. Your move. At this moment, the board is in front of you. You have the knowledge to understand the system, recognize the players, and apply the strategies that lead to financial growth. You know the importance of mindset, discipline, and thoughtful decision-making. The next move belongs to you. Will you continue playing by chance, or will you play with purpose? The money game is always in motion. Every day brings new opportunities to learn, improve, and advance your position. The rules are now in your hands. It is time to play.